Welcome back, everybody. That felt like the quickest week of our lives. This episode, we'll be going through the 100-yard dash where we're going to be breaking down the Giants, Jets with Mike from Bayonne, and the Backbone Patriots. Then we have a new segment on the show. It's the Fantasy Feud, talking some fantasy football. And, of course, the race to October, the race to my heart, Yankees, Mets, the SOB of the week, which I got a nice thing for that one, and reaction talk. What up, Backbone? Mikey, where you been?
What is going on? New season alert. New season alert. Come on, guys.
Right, thanks for joining us.
And Tico looks a little different. I feel like Jazz when he came back to first pitch. There's something different about you, Aunt Viv. Are we supposed to pretend like you're Tico?
You know?
He needed to be replaced. Jesus Christ.
I don't blame him for leaving this misery behind from my standpoint with these damn G-men. But what's up, Mike? Let's talk about your Jets. How you feeling? It literally took you a whole 12 months to get actually 4 quarters down, right?
Yeah, dude. 600 days later, and I got to finally see what I was ready to see after watching Hard Knocks. Yeah, man. I don't know. That was one of the better losses I've had as a Jets fan. That felt good. That felt really good. And the first couple drives, look, defense had their problems. I don't think the defense is going to be a problem moving forward, so it doesn't really worry me. But first drive, Lazard is a bum. While I have the microphone, Alan Lazard's a bum and needs to be off the New York Jets roster. Let's get that out of the way.
Quick.
Lazard drops the ball on third down, first drive. Second drive, Breece Hall fumble. Third drive was the drive that all Jet fans needed to see, man. He went down the field. He had 3 third down conversions, and they were all to Garrett Wilson, and they were all off plays that he changed the play at the line of scrimmage on third down after seeing the pressure. It was all him that entire drive, capped it off with a Breece Hall touchdown. That's why you got him. That's the excitement level that everyone's around. Now you're looking at, it's the 49ers. They were out McCaffrey. That's a game you got to win. Let's just settle down. We got this one out of the way. He's healthy. Everybody's healthy. We left the field with no one hurt. We put up a decent game against one of, if not the best teams in the NFC. Let's walk away. Let's wipe the dirt off our shirts, and let's win some games. Now let's be the team that you're supposed to be.
Hey, listen, well said from listening to sports radio for the last all day today and just listening to everybody speak. You know, a lot of people were saying that, they should have won. They're picking plays. And then everyone's like, remember where we were 12 months ago today. Remember where we were, you know. To me personally, watching it as a bystander, Aaron Rodgers definitely doesn't look like the kid anymore of who Aaron Rodgers was. But he also looks like he's going to be the veteran. If he stays in the pocket, he's going to make plays, and the Jets are going to have positive gains on offense all day long.
Yeah. No, he showed that he can move the ball against a really tough defense. And look, I think, no, he's not going to be the Aaron Rodgers of old, but I don't think anybody really needs him to be. We need him to do what he was doing last night, which was kind of manage the game and hopefully get some better defense on the other side of the ball. But, I mean, one thing to take away for sure, the offensive line looked a hell of a lot better than anything they looked like last year. And I don't know if that's – I mean, you can't not say that it's the talent that we acquired. You get a Tyrone Smith. You get the guy, John Simpson from the Ravens. Like, you're going to have a better line. But at the same time, I do feel like there's this inkling with these guys where you're protecting for Aaron Rodgers now. You're not protecting for Zachary Wilson, Geno Smith. You're not protected for a bum. You're protected for a guy that expects perfection from you and can't get hit, and he can't get hit. So it's almost like they're like playing up because he's behind them. Whatever works, man. They looked a lot better. So
I got a question. Did you say that you want Aaron Rodgers to be a good game manager?
No. I'm saying I think he was last night on offense, on the offensive side of the ball against a tough defense. I don't think honestly, if he was just a good game manager, we'll go to the playoffs. That's all this team needs. I mean, it's going to go to the ball's going to go to Breece more often than not, and they showed you that last night. That's going to be the offense for sure. But to have the ability of this guy on the field where it's 3rd and 7, and Hackett to Lackett, the loser, gives you some crappy 3rd and 7 play, and you see the guy in line of scrimmage and realize that was a shit play. I'm going to change this. Like, that's the difference of Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I mean, did you think? I mean, I watched up in 3/4 of it. Did you think that it was either the first and second drive, or definitely the first drive, was awful play calling? I thought it was just so predictable runs,
and
then
run,
they were just
pass.
trying to go after for third. Yeah,
run, pass, and that's Hackett. I mean, but that's. Here's the thing with it. When you get a guy like, I realized it last night watching him. When you get a guy like Rodgers, it really doesn't matter who your offensive coordinator is. It really doesn't, because he's going to override every dumb decision that they make. I'm sure that on a few, if not all of those 3rd down conversions, that the original play that was called was not going to get us there. You know what I mean? Hackett is not capable or credible, and I don't believe in him at all. But what I do believe in is that Aaron Rodgers has the reins over Hackett when it comes to those game time clutch decisions.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's just like LeBron with any head coach that he's had, for sure.
Exactly, and that's why Rodgers likes to keep him around, because it's almost like, all right, well, the devil you know is better than the devil you don't. At least I know he's not going to stay out of my. He's going to stay out of my shit. I know his play calling is suspect, but he'll stay out of my shit.
Yeah. No,
I feel like the coach for the Jets, Saleh, is definitely on the block this year. You know, he's going to be looked at up and down every week, even more than last year, because last year it was just shit happened. We're going to kind of just try to get through the season and battle through it, and then we're going to worry about everything next year. It's next year now. This is it for Saleh. He has to put up good games as well, even though he's not playing on the field, right?
No, yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. Last year was like a win-win for Saleh. You know what I mean? You sneak in the playoffs. Holy shit, how'd you do that? You don't? Well, no one expected you to. Rodgers went down week 1. But now, it's put up or shut up. And even in the game last night, man, look, we weren't in it, but there were a lot of times that we were just being outcoached, even defensively. They were just outcoaching us. And I think we're going to start seeing that we're going to be losing some games to that, and it's going to make that seat even hotter.
Definitely.
Jordan
there was
Mason.
Never a point. What'd you say?
Jordan Mason, dude. He ran a buck.
$150. Okay.
Yeah.
$150, and 95 yards of that was before contact. That's the most in the NFL all weekend. 95 yards before the guy got touched. What does that tell you? That's not, you know what I mean? Yeah, he's a hard runner. I'm not taking anything away, but he got to the second level every time he ran the ball without being touched. That can't happen.
He had from Friday to prepare, so.
You heard that, huh? Yeah. That poor kid, man.
We'll bring that up later.
I felt bad for him, honestly. I felt bad for him.
McCaffrey's in that game. What do you think he goes for?
Probably a lot of the same, to be quite honest. Here's how I view McCaffrey. What I would view McCaffrey is McCaffrey on the 49ers just creates an ultimate high floor for McCaffrey. You know what I mean? Where I think you could plug and play any running back or halfback in that 49ers offense. They're going to give you some yardage because there's too much to worry about over the top. So I think McCaffrey would have did a lot of the same. It would have been a lot, more difficult of a time, but you can only play who's on the field, right?
For sure.
Yeah, listen, you're playing the second best team in the league.
Mm-hmm.
That's enough said
right
there.
On the road.
But that's what I mean. Like, now it's like, okay, you got it out of the way. You went to their house. You actually put up some points, fine, whatever. Now we got Tennessee Titans. Then you got the Broncos. You got the Patriots coming in a couple weeks. Like, these are the games now where you solidify yourself as a problem for the league. You got to win these games.
Wait, so is Greg Saleh on the hot seat this year if you guys don't make playoffs?
Rob Saleh.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. If we don't make playoffs, he's probably fired. Forget about the hot seat. He's probably gone before that even happens. Like they have to make the playoffs, and Joe Douglas included. I mean, we're going to see if he has finally been able to revamp this offensive line, but he's made a lot of dumb decisions that have been covered up by Garrett Wilson and Sauce Gardner draft picks. So he'll be on the hot seat as well.
And just one last thing, you know why I actually said Greg?
Why?
So you're in the same fantasy league that I'm in. Do you know how I lost some Raccoons fantasy last night?
No.
I had Greg the leg,
mm-hmm.
and I needed a 1.4 to win, and he only got 1 point. just the extra point. And I lost.
You could have got a chip shot.
And I had do you have Fanatic Sportsbook? Shameless plug.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you do the wheel spin or whatever.
Yeah.
I got a $5 bonus bet, and I did a 7,000 odds bet. I hit on everything. Actually, it would have been less because I put McCaffrey in there, but he got ruled out. So it probably would have been like in the 5,000s. I got everything but the over on Garrett Wilson receiving yards.
Oh my God. And that was looking so good too after like the first and second drives.
Good. I
had like 40
I thought I was
already.
locked up.
Yeah, he had 6 catches into the first 2 drives.
So the Jets just fucked me.
Well, good.
Well, yeah, you deserve it.
Yeah, I mean the Patriots continue to fuck me every year, and more of the same. Now let's beat the Bengals now with Mayo.
Name is right.
Oh
yeah, it's so hard to win on the road against a good conference team, right?
Bullshit, man. The Bengals were not ready. Taylor needs to get that team ready. What the hell was that? That pissed me off. Everybody wins. The whole division. We're the 1 year we are projected to win the goddamn thing. The entire division wins week 1 and we lose.
That's okay.
Last place Jets.
I mean, and the worst part was the Dolphins were gonna lose. The Bills were gonna lose. They both fucking win. It's like, oh my God.
The division is competitive. The division is all good football teams. They're all competitive football teams. Like even if the Patriots are on this rebuild or whatever, they're the Patriots. They're gonna have players. They're gonna make. I seen a clip of Portnoy. He was getting ragged on, and somebody said to him like, "It's gonna be a long time before you guys win anything." And I'm sitting there and I'm like, I don't know about if it's gonna be that long. They turn things around quicker than any other franchises.
Yeah, and listen, they are always. The doctor I work for is a diehard Bengals fan, and so he was ready to punch something Monday morning. And I told him, I'm like, one thing is death, taxes, and the Patriots are going to have a good defense. I don't care if Belichick's not. But Mayo is taught from Belichick and so on. So they will always have a stout defense, no matter who they have at quarterback, no matter how bad the offense looks. Yeah. They always play well on defense every time, tackling machines, and I can't stand them for it. Yeah,
but we'll save the Pats talk a little bit, and we'll get into this.
I can't help the smirk.
We'll get into the New York Football Giants.
G-Men.
A nightmare of a week 1.
You didn't even let me do my freaking video package, Charles.
You started it with the 100-yard dash, I thought.
No, that was just regular intro. Come on.
What do you mean? So that's on you. You're the backbone. You should have dropped it then.
It's right in the middle of you talking?
Yeah. Well, what do you mean? We started the 100-yard dash with Mike.
Go ahead.
Drop it. Drop it.
Let's see it.
Oh. Yay.
That's a little too low.
I like that.
But yeah, let's get into these Danielle Jones and the New York Football Giants. Yeah, his new name is Danielle in my house. Yeah, you made Sam Darnold look like a good quarterback. It's just as sad as it gets. I think he started the game 12 for 12. Started the game 12 for 12. That's pretty friggin' nuts. And it's just more of the same, more of a bad quarterback play, along with a coach that is taking the reins and making the play calls and all the above this year, and he dropped the ball. It's like you're playing the Vikings week 1 after getting obliterated in week 1 last year that the season literally ended after the Cowboys. So I thought that this year, stupid me, give me a clown nose. Why not? Give me the wig. And it's just, I really thought that things were going to be a little different, and they were going to come out and look like a competitive football team. And here we are, embarrassment to the franchise, not looking like we can do anything positive.
Those jerseys with icing on the cake too.
Oh my God, what were those?
Jerseys looked like we were playing Canadian football, Canadian hockey, right? That was the Canada hockey jersey. I don't know, right? You seen that? Didn't it just look like the Canada? What's the team?
That was a bad idea. I've never seen someone do that on week 1.
Yeah.
What are those jerseys though? Like,
there's going to be nobody there by week 5. But
no, what was it for? Those jerseys?
The 100th anniversary. It was their 100th season this year. So Lawrence Taylor was there. They were all there.
Yeah, they had Tiki, they had Eli, they had everybody in the house. All the Giants players knew they had everybody in the house, and that's the effort. That's the freaking effort. It's just like, yo, I don't know. I'm really upset. I'm really upset about it because
I think you're underestimating the Vikings. Even though I know Sam Darnold, I did always believe in Sam Darnold.
It wasn't about the other team at all. It could have literally been the Kansas City Chiefs. Okay,
the Vikings, I guarantee you, the Vikings haven't forgot either that Daniel Jones got paid off of the playoff game that he beat them in.
Correct.
Less than 2 years ago. These things, these are chalkboard material.
You're giving me that look, Andrew. I'm not even telling you about the Vikings. Okay, they beat us. Like I just said, Sam Darnold went 12 for 12 to start the game. Sam Darnold. I don't know if you just heard what I said. I said Sam Darnold started the game 12 for 12 for the Vikings. That's just berserk to me. And I'm not saying it's because I don't think Sam Darnold's a great quarterback. I think he's a journeyman.
You have to see. My point was that the people that he's throwing to and his players, you're totally underestimating them. On their bad day would beat you guys on your best day.
Once again, I'm not. My emotions here aren't about the other team's play. It was just about the way we conducted ourselves and carried ourselves throughout the whole thing.
The Vikings are. I agree with them. The Vikings are not good enough for if you're having a 100th anniversary with your legacy in the building. You get trounced on like that from the Vikings.
It's embarrassing.
The Giants are bad. Yeah, let's get one thing straight.
Yeah,
they're bad.
They are bad. You know what I mean? And it's just like, but where's the silver lining? Right? It's week 1 here. We don't have an injury that I could rest my head on and say, all right, we'll get him next year. We have nothing else besides that. We have to just get better for the next week. What's better next week? What am I looking for next week? Am I going to be happy with a touchdown pass?
Who are they versing next week?
Am I going to be happy with a damn touchdown pass? It's disgusting. And you could go from the coach of the year, right, to having a bad season. Okay. Now you're on the block again. Here we go.
Yep, that's New York.
You know what I mean? Here we go. If he puts up a bad team for the next 17 weeks, we're back looking for a quarterback. We're back looking for a coach. We're back. The team is in shambles. There's no positive energy around the New York Football Giants, and it is just freaking killing me. And Dable losing all this weight. You know what, buddy? I want your fat cheeseburger eating son of a bitch back on that line with some balls. Give me the balls. Stop punting. These other teams are playing 4 downs right now. It almost feels like a new game, right? Where if you're close, I feel like the Eagles started. If you're close, you're going for it in 2024 football, right or wrong?
Yeah, no, everyone's a lot more aggressive.
You have to show some. Like Daniel Jones is making the same amount of money in 2024 than Aaron Judge. I understand that, but the same amount of money this year that Judge is putting in his pocket, Daniel Jones is putting in his pocket too. That's sick.
That deal was a robbery, man.
But yeah, because you almost rather sit here with Locken and DeVito as your backup, and you'll be okay with that because we're calling for Lock anyway for next week.
Right, exactly, and you save a hell of a lot more money that way.
Everyone's saying if Daniel Jones doesn't make it to the halftime, that they're pulling him at halftime.
Next week?
No. Every analyst that I've been listening to since Sunday has said, if it gets to halftime and Jones doesn't throw a touchdown and looks like he did last week, pull him.
CB, here's the thing with Daniel Jones. He's going to be one of these guys now, and you guys they're versing the Commanders, and he goes all. He's going to have a good game. He's going to put up yards. He'll give you the touchdowns. He's going to look, and he's going to make people believe like, oh, okay, maybe the contract was it, but this is kind of what he does now. You know what I mean? You've seen. And
then he gets hurt. Then he plays good, and then he gets hurt.
Right. You've seen where it is, where it's like it's not rising, it's not inclining, it's kind of just roller coastering around. And it's been 2 to 3 years. And now these guys are coming out of the womb ready to step into the quarterback position. There's no sitting anymore. There's no Jordan Love behind Rodgers and Rodgers behind Favre. None of that shit. If you're ready to play, you come out and you start playing. Jaden Daniels didn't do anything great, but he had 200 yards and 80 on the ground and 2 touchdowns. Like, he's ready to play right out of the gate. What are we waiting for? It's like Zach Wilson over in Denver. They will be waiting the next 10 years.
This is year one of Daniel Jones. He's thrown more pick sixes than touchdowns since he signed the contract.
Yeah, that's crazy.
He's thrown more pick sixes to the other team than he's thrown touchdowns. And I'm the one sitting here last week going, oh, yeah, maybe my buddy Danny Jones is going to be that guy. I feel like a Jet fan. I feel like a Met fan. I feel like a schmuck. That's what I feel like. I feel like a damn schmuck.
Mike, I need to pull up the clips of him and Antico going ham after that contract.
Yeah, wait for him to get released. Maybe we'll get some views. Maybe that'll get us some views.
That was bad.
Mike, are you what
else?
Yeah, man. I'm still in the middle of building furniture, bro.
I seen the outlet next to you for a second. And I'm like, yo, that outlet's either really high up in the sky or this guy's on the floor.
Man. The red wine's on the floor tonight.
Nice. All right, man. Let's do this. What do you got, Patriots fan? What do you got, bro? We're bringing in that Patriot crew. I want you to pay for some ads. I want you to pay for some ads in Boston, Andrew.
You want me to what? Pay for some ads in Boston?
Yeah, pay for some ads in Boston.
I'll get some. I do want to complain a little bit. So, and this is something
about me
that what?
About me?
No, something about the game. Honestly, I feel like just the officiating just gets worse every single year. But also, the announcers or anybody didn't also see what I saw. And I also went on Twitter for clips. I couldn't find it there either. So I had to dig up the actual film clip and find this. Give me 1 second.
Actual film clip of just
they beat the Bengals and he's got complaints.
No, I got a complaint, and I want your guys' opinion on there it is. I want your opinion on this because maybe I just don't know the rules or whatever. Okay, ready?
Yep.
You don't need to hear the audio. So it's going to be a Joe Burrow fumble. So you see how he dove forward. That's not a QB slide, correct?
Right. Yeah, no, he's not giving himself up.
He's not giving himself up, which means that he needs to be touched, correct?
Yes.
Touched to be ruled down. So let's watch the replay here.
I see, but I don't know. Is he giving himself up?
Watch, ready? He gave himself up. Ball punched right out with no contact. You're telling me this wasn't a fumble?
His knee's down.
His knee is down, but he
still needs
to be touched, though, no? That's the part I don't get.
I get what you're saying, but I think if the knee is down, when he's touched is when the tackle begins. But if his knee's down and the ball comes out, it's a tackle, but there's no fumble.
So the ball is part of the person.
Yeah, technically. I think that would have been a tackle, right? Did they mark that a tackle?
Yeah, he was down by contact.
They just gave it a tackle. Yeah. I think it would have been a fumble if his knee wasn't down.
Yeah, he gave himself up, and then that punch to the ball is basically him getting touched.
Yeah, I don't know the whole giving, because when it comes to the quarterback run, because some of these guys will kind of dive almost not forward, but not with their legs, but kind of sideways, and sometimes they'll stop the play. But other times you'll see something like that where they'll continue it. So I don't know what the whole giving yourself up is, if you have to go legs first. But I think with that one, it was just that his knee was down when the ball came out.
Yeah.
Look at you trying to get more turn. You already won the game. You won another fumble.
All right.
My God.
Yeah.
But
I borrow a break, bro. You guys kicked the crap out of him.
I was honestly generally curious of your opinion on that ruling, because I
that's
was
actually
just
interesting though. But did you guys see all this, all these offensive illegal formation calls?
No.
Yeah. Oh my God. The first game against the Eagles, right?
Right.
No, not against the Ravens. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and then it carried over into some of the Sunday games. So I think what's happening is, and last year you could see it in the beginning, in the first opening game, I remember the Eagles played, and I think it was Lane Johnson, somebody, but these guys, these tackles, because these defensive ends aren't fat guy positions anymore, they're hybrid LeBron James looking like crazy people. These tackles are lining up way too far off the ball to try to get a jump start on making sure those edges don't come around them. Yeah. They've been doing it all last year, and now the refs are pretty much, or someone told the refs, just like shut it down immediately so that everybody gets the signal that you can't do it anymore. And they called like 5 of them.
They just started cheating, and now they're just starting to enforce it, basically.
They started cheating last year to combat the new defensive end.
Didn't this happen in the Super Bowl?
Did they call it in the Super Bowl? I don't even know.
I feel like there was a big controversy of this in the Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes did it. The Chiefs did it. And then the other team did it.
Yeah.
They called it on the other team. They didn't call it on Mahomes.
Well, a lot of them have been. I mean, you still see this where they jump. They're pretty much. It's a false start almost every time where they take that first leg back before the football's even hiked. But now what they're doing is they're coming way off the ball on top of that. So I guess they're just putting an end to it. But the problem is it's T.J. Watts and these guys are just mammoths, dude. Like these big dudes, these tackles can't guard them. It's crazy.
The tackle position is going to change. You're going to be
a lot position. Yeah, dude. If you have a okay left or right tackle right now, you need to hold on to them. You need to pay them a crap ton of money, because the position you can't find a good. Trent Williams is the only good one left, the only great one at least.
Didn't he just get paid the most money by a non-quarterback?
Yeah, he signed it before. I was hoping he would hold out at least a friggin' week.
I know. I wanted him to.
He snuck back in.
Well, anyway, getting into the 1-0 first place Patriots.
Let's hear it. God.
An actual good game management football game by Jacoby Brissett. I didn't think I was going to say it. He didn't have a lot of yards throwing, but I think he had like 40 yards on the ground. Gerard Mayo said after the game that he's the slowest black quarterback in the NFL, so he was shocked that he had so many yards.
That's actually a good point.
It really is.
That's true.
But honestly, like he got like big first downs on third downs with his legs, no turnovers, exactly what you need from the quarterback for the Pats. And the guy just carrying the load, Rhamondre Stevenson. I think he's going to be easily a top 10 back this year. I think he had 120 yards.
Who's behind him?
25 carries. Antonio Gibson.
Oh, that's
from,
right.
The Redskins. I like him a lot, actually.
He's pass catching more, though.
Yeah, good receiving back for sure. Yeah. But defense obviously was the highlight. I don't know if you guys saw the play by Duggar. He made like a fumble right at the goal line. He like dove out. Mm-hmm. That was a freaking sick play. Keion White. He replaced Matthew Judon. 2.5 sacks. And the shit I hated, I watched the game last night and they did a Himothy Award and they gave it to J.J. Watt, who just had 1 sack. This guy, Keion White, second year Pat, had 2.5 sacks and like a ton of shitload of pressures.
Patriots are playing, man. I can't believe it. How did the defense obviously looked like the defense of normal, right?
They did. And you know what I even saw even more? They were swarming to the ball, like the whole team. It truly felt like they were fighting for Mayo, even after the game. I know it was kind of a little ridiculous. They gave him the Gatorade bath after his first win.
I saw that.
Cool. I mean, I don't really technically like that, but at least it shows you like the players are behind him.
Yeah. But I feel like that's fine, no?
Gatorade I guess I don't know. I feel like the Gatorade bath is for like the Super Bowl
championship and
like
I guess you're right.
Chips and stuff like that. But
what year is this after Brady? How many years are we now? After Brady,
where post Cam Newton and Mac Jones 4 years or 5 years.
Wow.
I count by quarterbacks.
Yeah. 5 years.
Yeah.
All right. All right, we'll see what you got. I'm glad you had a nice.
If I counted by quarterbacks, I'd get through half.
Oh my God! you got multiple the season.
Giants have a bunch of funny names in there too.
But at least you could name it in half a breath.
Yeah, right.
I'd have to write mine down.
Let's go over who does everybody have next week. So the Giants have the Commanders.
Oh my God!
Divisional game, right?
Yeah, man. You got a shot at the rookie.
Yeah. Definitely have to step up, and that's it. I believe that's another 1 o'clocker, right? Backbone, you got it in front of you?
Oh no, I was checking my own.
I can check for you.
Jesus.
Let's see. Yeah, 1 o'clock.
Okay. Yeah, 1 o'clock. Yeah.
Yep. And the Jets will be in Tennessee to take on the Titans. 1 o'clock. That is a must win.
And what about you, Backbone?
Home against the Seahawks, hosting the Seahawks. Tough game.
That's your home opener?
Yep. And then the following week, we go to the Jets.
And that's your home opener next week, or you're still on the road, Mike? Oh, we lost you a sec.
Your audio went. Let's get that back.
Well, it did go.
You got me?
Yep. You're back.
What did you say?
Yeah,
that's your home opener?
Home opener Thursday night, baby. Thursday night.
Oh, nice. Thursday night.
Yeah, Thursday night football against the Pats.
Yeah, thank God we do play on that Thursday, because my son's baptism is Sunday, and I would have missed the game.
What would you have done?
I would have had the phone in my pocket.
Did you not just hear how selfish that was? So I don't give a shit about anybody else that has to be there as long as I got to see the Pats. Imagine.
I can.
I think that was the one thing I picked up from my dad. My dad was listening to the radio while my sister was being born.
Yeah.
the Mets.
Mets.
Yeah. 86, right? No,
it wasn't 86.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't like that.
Oh,
it was
in
in
June. It worse.
It was June baseball, by the way.
they were 18 games. They were 18 games below 500 at the time.
What is that? All right, you ready to get into our new segment? This segment is the Fantasy Feud. And Mike from Bayonne, that was a hell of a pick right there.
I didn't know. The mustache is nice.
You should grow that out.
All right.
Surveying 100 people. Name a player whose 2024 stat line will not live up to their stat line of 2023.
But I need a buzzer. I'm going to get a buzzer. All right. I'm going with Justin Herbert. And that might be a little bit obvious, but maybe a little bit not. My reason I'm going Justin Herbert is mainly because I don't think they're going to be bad, but it's because the coaching scheme has changed and the things around LA have changed. John Harbaugh is there. He is creating a run-heavy offense, and Herbert's not going to have those stat lines that you were seeing the previous year. He's not going to have terrible stat lines, but if you're expecting 30, 35 fantasy points, 4 or 5 touchdown games, they're going to be a lot more scarce than they were in 2023.
Okay. Backbone?
I actually do. I have Chris Olave. He had a really good season last year. He's a young wide receiver. I know the Saints just blew out the Carolina Panthers, but the Panthers are probably the only team in the league worse than the Giants. And I really don't believe in the Saints. Derek Carr, I think he's terrible. I think Kamara is going to be good, but he is kind of getting to that age where he may slow down to, just help open up that Chris Olave deep ball that he constantly gets. So I just don't think that's going to happen as often anymore.
I love that name, Chris Olave.
That is a good name.
It's a friggin' fantastic name. Where does Olave play?
The Saints.
Got it. All right, that was cool. That was your feud?
You have 2 more. What are you doing?
That was your feud? What do you mean?
You have 2 more
questions.
All right. So we have, I didn't even see the other questions. I thought you just had the one question.
This is Steve Harvey. This is
I know. I should have put him up with the mustache.
Unlike Tyreek Hill trying to get to the stadium, name a player worthy of a fantasy football handcuff this year.
All right. My 2024 fantasy football handcuff is definitely obvious after last night, but I had it written prior. I want that on the record. It's Jordan Mason. And there's a lot of reasons. This is the 49ers backup running back. Number one obvious reason being is he's the backup for the best fantasy running back in the league. So if that guy were to go down, Mason takes all those stats. Number 2 is McCaffrey took a leap of faith and went on the Madden cover this year We all know how that one ends. I don't see it ending any differently this year. And number 3, I'll put my orthopedic PA hat on here. McCaffrey has a calf strain. When people play with calf strains, they pop their Achilles. And I'm telling you now, if he played last night, that boy would have popped his Achilles on Monday Night Football a year after Aaron Rodgers did it. Luckily, they were smart about it, but I think if eventually they do roll him out, he's not going to be 100%. He's going to be timid. He may not run the ball well. He may even re-injure himself. Jordan Mason's the guy to have.
That was really good fantasy advice for everybody who owns Christian McCaffrey.
For real.
It is what it is.
And for me, for me, the last name, I don't know. Maybe, Mike, you can help me out. Zach Charbonnet.
Charbonnet, like a fine wine.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I picked 2 guys so far who have great names.
You do, yeah.
Backup running back for the Seahawks had a really nice catch yesterday. Kind of is like the wide receiver guy to Kenneth Walker. I think, if Kenneth Walker obviously goes down, but he gets, probably like 25 to 30% of the carries and plays. So
like that. Good answer.
Right.
Good answer. I like that one.
I'll die.
500.
Come back as what's his name right now? Family Feud. All right. Name the 2024 league winning player to own. Mike.
All right. I'm going with Saquon Barkley.
Bad
I know,
answer.
I'm sorry.
Whoa.
But you saw what I saw, what we saw, what Brazil saw, and that boy still got it. And if he's on the field, he will easily win you the league this year. He's going to put up numbers PPR, half PPR, non-PPR. He gets the ball through the air. He's getting the ball on the run, and they're obviously showing that he's going to be getting the ball in the red zone.
I bet you he doesn't play more than 6 weeks. Go ahead, back on.
And he stays healthy.
That's a good answer. And I just think the best fantasy player is controversial, Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill, 80-yard TD this week. This guy, he's just unstoppable. No one could guard him besides Christian Gonzalez. And it's a high-powered offense.
Yeah, and he was held on the side of the road by police for a few hours before the game.
We'll get into that a little bit later too.
Christian Gonzalez and Deputy Gonzalez are the only two that can hold him.
That's unbelievable. That's unbelievable. That really is. And that wraps up the fantasy feud.
Yeah, all right. I'm a fan. I'm gonna get a little buzzer or something.
All right, cool.
I actually have like a Family Feud soundboard that I found.
Yeah.
The easy button from
Yeah, exactly.
That was good though. My bad though. I printed it. It went to the back of my sheet. All right.
Come on, that's embarrassing.
It printed on both sides. All right, we're gonna say goodbye to Michael. You want to hang out with us?
No, I'm out, man. I haven't watched any baseball, but I know we're in the hunt.
All right.
I'm gonna be listening. So
enjoy the debate. Remember, a vote for Trump is a vote for RFK.
I'll see you, man. It's gonna be good TV tonight.
Yeah.
See you guys.
Peace.
All right. That was cool. Did you like that?
Yeah, I loved it.
We'll get better every week. I love this shit.
Yeah.
Right?
For show.
Cool. So shout out once again to everybody listening. Don't forget, like, review, subscribe. Hook us up any way you can. Hit us up in the DMs. We love to hear from you. And we're going to get into my favorite segment, and that's the race to October.
Charge.
Yay. Go sports. All right, so I'm going to take this one, and I'll start this one off with the Yanks. Where do we leave off? We left off right before
Wednesday night. We didn't talk about.
I'm not going to sit here. Baseball's a lot of games bunched into a few days, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're just going to break this down a little bit. Over the weekend, we went to Chicago, which was a little offensive list in the Windy City. But the pitching was back in lockdown. I was talking to one of my buddies. He's like, seems like a great place to just pitch. It's like a place for pitches. Very windy. Nothing was leaving the stadium. Everything was kind of staying in. But there's a few talking points right there. So Gill came back from his IL, from his phantom IL stint, and came out and dominated. Definitely looked like a hell of a starting pitcher, even though I was trying to preach for him to go to the bullpen. But they put him back out there to start the game. Had an excellent start. I think he might have let up like one hit. And then the next day, which they brought back Clark Schmidt from the DL, so the IL. So a lot of things, a lot of moving parts happening for the Yanks. Getting healthy at the right time of year still gives them, I think there's about 18 games here where they could really try to wrap their head around this playoff push. So Clark Schmidt comes back, dominant, back-to-back with Nestor out of the pen. So Nestor out of the pen was a little bit of a shocker to me. You bring in Nestor out of the pen, and he was not happy about it. He was not happy about it. He kind of came out to the media and said, I was surprised. I've been the workhorse for the Yankees. Basically, he started the Yankees home opener to start the season. He didn't think he deserved to be out of the pen, so I believe he had a little bit of a chip on his shoulder coming out of the pen, but he didn't back down. He gave them a little bit of a lip, which is okay. I like the edginess. I'm not going to sit here and back down from edginess, but he was dominant. So I if he didn't want to do it, maybe he shouldn't have pitched as good as he did, because I remember from the Roger Clemens game from years ago. Sorry to take you back, but in the playoffs, Mike Messina came in and shut down the game, and you didn't even remember that Roger Clemens started the Aaron Boone game, but meanwhile, it was Mike Messina who was the hero. So that spot in the playoffs is extremely important. And if Ness is going to take it on and he's going to come out of the pen and he could do what he did on Saturday, that would be amazing. That would be amazing.
Big. That could be really big.
The story of the week is that my SOB of the week finally lost his job at closing game. So Clay Holmes is not the closer of the New York Yankees anymore. It's basically up for grabs. They brought in Weaver to close the game on Saturday, I want to say, and he let one guy on, but he was basically pitching out of his mind. He had totally different stuff. His demeanor out of the pen was awesome. His words after the game was awesome. He literally told the media, like, I blacked out. I got out there. I threw strikes. I performed as best as I possibly can. I got the 3 outs. We got the win, and we moved on. So they're not Boone is not giving Weaver the closer job. It's closer by committee, but I do believe that I think he's going to be that guy. I think he will be the closer if he continues. Like I said, if it gets shaky and he blows one or something like that, maybe they won't go back to him. But as long as he's been shut down,
so you think it's one game and he's done?
I think one game, and then you might see a Canely or a Cousins or somebody else coming out of the pen to do it. Yeah, I think it's a short leash right now. I think it might be his job, but they're not telling us that. They don't tell you anything. And then the other highlight of the week, that my call, I was going to send you the clip. I couldn't friggin' find it. I don't know if I deleted it, but I called into the Fan last week like I always do. And what I said to them came true. I said they need to bring up Dominguez, which everybody was calling for. All Yankee fans were calling for. The Yankee fans literally bullied Cashman and Boone into bringing up Dominguez. So he's up. Now it's going to be what he has to do with it, right? But the real thing I said was that DJ LeMahieu needed to be phantom IL'd, and that's exactly what happened yesterday. He's on the 10-day, but you'll probably never see DJ wearing a Yankee uniform again.
So you went for 3 for 3 with predictions from last week.
Yeah, I did pretty good with that. Actually,
that is pretty good.
Yeah, the Dominguez thing was like it was almost
long
like
time coming.
It was right in front of you. You realize that he's just a better option. Verdugo he's a good ball player. I'm not going to sit there and tell you Verdugo's not a good ball player. He's in the majors. He does good things on the field, but on a night-to-night basis, I think Dominguez could definitely put him to shame. So he's sitting tonight, even though last night they had Volpe sit and they mixed some things around. But last night he actually had like a really good night, of course, right? As soon as you hear that you're going to get benched and the guy comes up. He had a really good quote too. He said, I know I'm going to lose some time to Dominguez, but I just want to get out there and win. So here we're at. This is where we're at. We're a game and a half. We're a game and a half up in the division in the AL East. We got to keep fighting. Got to keep fighting. That's it.
Nice.
All right, I tried to break that
down
as fast as I possibly can. Just
go Yanks.
Get through it because there's going to be a lot of Yankee talk coming up at
the end. Maybe a lot of Met talk coming up also.
Maybe.
4-1 since Wednesday. We played your Red Sox Wednesday night, gave them a nice beating. Jesse Winker, my boy, with the grand slam.
Buying Thomas a Winker jersey.
I think you have to at this point. And then we go on and play oh my God, who the hell did we play? Why am I drawing a blank?
Yeah, the Reds.
We played the Blue Jays yesterday, but who did we? Oh, the Reds. Yeah, right. We had the series with the Reds. We had the Mark Vientos. He had that 2 home run game, including the walk-off in I think it was the 10th inning, I believe. And that was an 8-game win streak, by the way. Then the next game, Quintana pitched a beautiful game that extended it to 9, which made it the longest win streak that we've had in 6 years.
Wow.
Really, right? And then you know what happens the next day? Severino goes out there, good start, just couldn't get some runs, and we ruined the streak and didn't get the sweep on the Reds.
Which sucks.
It's just the way it goes, Bo.
But that's okay. You can't win them all. Not 9-game winning streak is nice.
Yeah. I mean, the Mets definitely still rolling, still looking good. We do have our hiccups here and there, but for the most part, they've been going on these runs, which is pretty good. Edwin Diaz is kind of making a little bit of a comeback, getting a little bit more confident in him. We're going to need him if we're going to be able to compete in like playoffs or even for the wild card.
Sit here, you hear me complaining about the closer situation. So yeah,
I mean, a little different situation.
Closer, it's
exactly different situation. Like we have somebody who should be pitching dominant and is not. Then we went to the Blue Jays. McGill, great start. Mets just scrapped for a couple of runs in the 8th inning to win, and Diaz with another save. He's been good. So that kind of wrapped up our week from Wednesday.
All right. Not bad. We got to keep it rolling with baseball. I know the Mets have I believe it's 6 games with Philly left.
I think you're right on that.
Yeah, I think 6 games with Philly left. Is there any games with the Braves left?
Yeah, I think there's one more
series, 3-gamer. So that's really, you just got to keep it up through those. Yeah, you got to stay exactly where you're at, or keep bettering yourself in the standings.
Yeah.
Get after it when we play against these other teams that are right there in front of us. Those are going to really, really be big games.
So yeah, for sure.
That's what we're resting our head on. And now it's time for my favorite segment of the week. It's the SOB of the week.
You son of a bitch! You son of a bitch! You son of a bitch!
You son of a bitch. And I'll start it off because last week I was 1 for 1. My son of a bitch was Clay Holmes. He lost his job. So my week 2 son of a bitch is Daniel Jones. After everything I said earlier in the podcast, in the episode, where you're making the same amount of money this year as Aaron Judge, you threw more pick sixes than touchdowns since you signed the contract with the New York Giants. So you are clearly on the block this week. It was either him or Dable, but Dable really can't lose his job right now. So they're not going to fire Dable in the middle of the season. So it's on Danny Jones. You come out there on Sunday, give me the first half of your life. If you don't give us the first half of your life and you look anything like you do next week, I have a feeling that you're going to be sitting right next to Clay Holmes on the bench.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, buddy. I have who Mike used in one of his fantasies. I'd like to pull this up.
Got it.
Jordan Mason.
Make the audio louder?
Is audio not up?
It is, but I feel like it's coming out somewhere else. Yeah, it just sounded low. I heard it.
You heard it? Well,
yeah.
Anyway, so they go on, and if anything, I'll cut that. They go on, and Jordan Mason's asked, "When did you find out that you're going to be put in for today's game?" And he said Friday. And I know you don't like this. However, the game, you have to disclose injuries when it comes to the NFL. So if you lie, there should have been repercussions. The NFL already came out with a statement after I put this on there that there was no indication of wrongdoing with no investigation.
Listen, you're looking at me like that. I say that they shouldn't have to say a damn word until the ball snapped.
All right, understood. But let's talk about it. Is a rule. So do you agree that they should be punished?
Yeah, if it's a rule, he clearly spilled the beans, right? It's like
there's not even an investigation. This guy just said it plain and day.
Yeah, no, that there should be. There definitely should be some sort of investigation. I think it's a really stupid rule, though. I think it's an absolute bullshit rule. So you're sitting here and telling me that we have to tell you our game plan before the game even starts is crazy. It should be 20 minutes before the game. You have to hand down your play card. Like in baseball, the both managers walk to the umpire and they both hand in their cards. That's the way it should be. You should never know that McCaffrey is not going to play from Friday. Why are you going to give your opponent any type of advantage? I don't care about the gambling. I don't care about your fantasy football team. That's all extra for the league to make money. That shouldn't be a reason for a team not to strategize. Right?
Understood your point. However,
it's a rule.
No. I'm going to explain why they have it in place. The reason why they have it in place, football, your comparison is fair. However, the thing is, football is a contact sport, and there are far more injuries in football. So what happens with the Players Association, the Players Association could get sued if they don't disclose. They won't get covered under insurance if they don't disclose the injury. So that's why it is an actual technical insurance term. And that's why they do use it.
Okay.
So it should, and it works. Maybe they don't have to make it public. Maybe that's a good point. But it definitely needs to be disclosed to some type of committee or something like that.
Okay. Once again, my opponent doesn't need to know what I got going on.
I understand your point.
What happens if I got the shits and I can't start the game because I'm literally in the bathroom throwing up and shitting my pants on? Right? As soon as that never happened before?
No, I'm sure.
You know, like, I don't know. To me, that's a silly rule, and you're like giving away your game plan completely. It's the number one running back in the league. Right?
I totally hear you, but like, again, I don't know. I mean, every team does it. That's the thing. Like, it's been done since the beginning of time. Like, I'm sure like the Patriots was so known for the Patriots. They did the opposite. Belichick listed everybody on the injury report.
Mm-hmm.
Like Brady had a shoulder, was on the questionable shoulder for forever. And then his knee, like it was always something.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So he just left him there just in case.
Yeah, and he kind of made it like you don't really know what's going on by me just disclosing every little thing, you know?
Okay, makes sense.
Different type of strategy.
Yeah. All right. Well, why is he a son of a bitch though?
He actually shouldn't be. I wrongly directed my anger at him. Well, he is the SOB of the week for ratting out his team.
He didn't know. He should have been prepped. He should have been prepped. He's a rookie.
I don't know. I think if you watch football for X amount of time, you should know that.
He hasn't been watching. He's been working out trying to get there.
Yeah, I mean, I understand rookie mistake, whatever, but
It's not even a rookie mistake. It's an organizational mistake. They didn't know the kid was going to go off and get interviewed at the end of the game. That's what they didn't know.
Yeah. Well, who are you gonna prep all 55 players?
Yeah. Yes. Send a text group message to all 55 of you.
Oh, don't say anything about Christian. Yeah, that won't get them caught.
Yeah. All right. Now moving along to our reaction talk of the week. Yeah, boy. That was some beat. You definitely didn't run that one by me.
That one was for you, kid.
Yeah, you definitely didn't run that one by me.
I wanted to see your reaction when I played that.
So we're gonna get right into Tyreek Hill.
I hope this audio works. I wonder why.
Turn it up. I think it was just low. I heard it.
No, I'm telling you, I have it all the way up. Let me just do this.
Could be something on my board.
I don't think so. I don't think it'd be you. It says I'm sharing audio too. Let's see.
Why don't you have your seatbelt on? Like what? Why do you have it up? Keep it down. Hey! Keep your window down.
All right, pause this really quick.
Hey.
All right, so he's getting pulled over by it looks like the highway motorcycle police of Miami.
Yeah.
In a blacked out, is that a Lamborghini?
I'm pretty sure. Because I think when it opens.
Lamborghini, this cop has not one clue who's in there. All right. Tells him to roll down the window. Right, which he does. And then he rolls it back up. It's a blacked out window. So my first reaction to the video was, what is Tyreek Hill doing? You can't roll your window back up. You can't do that. This guy is scared for his life now. How does he know that you're not pulling out a pistol? He can't see a thing. That looks like 99% black windows. Then I find out today that it's not illegal in Miami, Florida, to roll your window back up during a traffic stop. And tints aren't illegal in Miami. So Tyreek Hill was still technically on paper, even though it looks crazy, he was still technically doing the right thing, which is nuts to me. In New York, you would have got ripped out.
So I don't know did you see the first part though? And that's the only part that I know that he got upset with, and that was his point. Not defending him, because I do see him in the wrong, but I also do see the cop in the wrong as well. Mm-hmm. If Tyreek didn't do certain things, it would have never gotten to the point, but it was also a bad cop. But he did go over there and he just knocked on his freaking window. Like he like banged on it. And that's what he was saying. He's like, yo, why are you banging on my window like that? He gives him his license, rolls down the window, gives him his license, and rolls. He says, give me what you like, what I need or whatever. And I'll
leave. Registration.
Right. And then he gave it to him and rolled up his window.
Right, and then now here we're at. Go ahead. Continue the clip.
Hey, keep your window down. Keep your window down. I'm going to get you out of the car. As a matter of fact, get out of the car. Give me that. Get out of the car. Give me that. Break that freaking window. Get out of the car.
I'm sorry. I just want to stop it again. That was way too quick. No?
Yeah. Well, once again, in New York, we're talking about something here in New York that this would have never happened, because this guy would have got ripped out of his car a long time before that. In their state that they're working in, Tyreek Hill is still obeying the law, which is crazy. But yes, you are right. That's extremely quick for Florida, because you're allowed to do these things. But this cop here that just comes in on the right, he seems like the real crazy guy.
Right. That exactly. Yeah, I was gonna say, but even regardless of the law, this is still way too quick.
Yeah. Like
to do this. But let's just play a couple. I guess like another 30 seconds should be good.
Get out of the car right now. We're not playing this game. Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out.
Like
Get out. What part of law don't you understand? Hey, Drew, I'm getting arrested, Drew. I'm getting arrested.
Did we find out who Drew was?
I'm getting arrested, Drew.
Yeah, Drew Rosenhaus. That's his agent.
Okay.
We can leave it there too.
Well, no, yeah. Well, skip a little bit too, because then there's another part of that video where they're just going nuts on the guy just on the side of the road. Those are the things that really piss me off.
Chill, bro. Hey, don't do, bro. Back up. Hey, call Drew. I had surgery on my knee. I just had surgery on my knee, bro.
Come on, the guy was in cuffs at that point. I don't believe that he was a threat to anybody or anything in that moment, and they continued the aggression. That's where I think it really went wrong too.
Yeah, for sure. Again, I think there's wrongs on both sides. However, if Tyreek was just a little bit, more compliant, even though, he doesn't necessarily have to be, not compliant in that sense. I mean, like technically, you don't have to be nice to an officer, right? Even though you should be. Technically, you could just roll down your window, give the cop an attitude, give him your license, and that's it, right? That's not against the law.
No, that's
right, not saying you should, but I'm saying is that, yeah, he definitely did entice the fact that for this to happen. However, that cop made way too quick of a reaction to grab him out of his car and do all of that stuff to him.
Yeah, it was a bit much. It was definitely a bit much. Tyreek Hill definitely took the high road. A lot of his comments and stuff like that after the game. Before, I think it was after the game. Was it after the game? Yeah, after the game.
Yeah, and he went on CNN.
Kind of said, "What about if I wasn't on Tyreek Hill?" I heard that the CNN thing was a bit much. What he said on CNN, I didn't get to see that.
Again, I think it was very respectful. He really kind of just said that everything has its bad apples, and he has all respect for the police officers, but he just wants to make a change, which is in his eyes.
In my eyes, the tints can't be that freaking dark that I cannot see in the car. How is that legal in Miami is just crazy. Come
on. I've always known that Miami, you can have the neon underneath the cars, the tints and everything. It was always like that.
Yeah, so I don't know. Those cops are probably dealing with a lot down there in Miami with all the celebrities and stuff like that as well. But I don't know. That was a messed up situation. At the end of the day, he got out there. He got pulled over for what? It was speeding, right? It was like
155. So he was obviously being really reckless.
Yeah. Probably get his license taken away and all that other good stuff for a little bit.
Yep.
But he's Tyreek Hill, so maybe he won't.
Yep.
All right. So the other thing we had here, we kind of went over, right? The Joe Burrow fumble.
Yeah, you don't even have to go over the other one. I think we just wrap it up. I think we've gone over an hour, I think, for one of the first times. No?
Let's go.
It's huge.
A lot to talk about. That's why we got this thing back up and rolling.
Yep.
There's a lot to talk about. Hope everybody's excited that we're back and you're listening to us again. Once again, thank you. Like, review, subscribe, DM us, hit us up, and let's go sports.
Peace.
Enjoy.